actually.
It's nice to see old friends.
Indeed, indeed. So, Robyn, welcome along.
Hi, Robyn.
And John,
Hey,
John, you know well, and some other names might be familiar as well. So, really great to have you back. I was trying to remember when you came. So, it was 2018 when you guys came along to speak. And it's lovely to have you back again. We're really looking forward to hearing what you guys have been doing. It's great to see Lee as part of your team, and lots of other people have joined on. So, from outside DCAP as well. So we're looking forward to hearing what you're all about and what you do. Thanks for joining us.
Great. Thanks so much, John Joe. It's always such a pleasure and quite a privilege to address all of you guys. And just good morning to everybody. Thanks so much for joining the session. My name is Robyn Cohen, and I'm coming to you from Muizenberg. And I'm here today with some of my colleagues, which you'll meet as we talk. I'm here with what we call Team Jelly, which is our training team made up of Jamie, Jose, and Kelly. And they're going to run through some of our tools that we teach the children on the beach. Also Aviwe, who's our program policy and advocacy manager, and Paula, who's our development director. And then we have guys like Lee sitting upstairs in our program office, who are logging in, I think, more to say hello to old friends. To those of you who I have met before, really nice to see you again, hopefully one day in person. But thank you all for joining this morning. So just to start a little bit about us and our mission, I'm going to share my screen. I have a very good helper here who's much more technically sound than me. Please just shout in the chat box if you can't see anything or if you can't hear anything, so that we can try and help with that. So basically, for those who don't know, Waves for Change fuses the rush of surfing with evidence-based mind-body therapy to provide a child-friendly mental health service to underserved and under-resourced communities. Our active ingredients include access to safe spaces at our 3 Cape Town beach hubs in Muizenberg, Monobisi, and Hout Bay. And these are facilitated by Waves for Change coaches. These coaches are caring, consistent youth from the same communities as the children that use the service. They provide weekly surf therapy sessions, which give children skills to cope with stress, regulate behavior, and build healing relationships. Today, we're going to talk about the grassroots community-based nature of our service and how social prescription can complement the work that you all do. First, we're going to show you a short video, and then Jamie will help us switch off from wherever we've come from this morning with something that we call a take 5, and something that the children do when they arrive at the beach.
Wave, wave, that wave, that wave, on that wave, you on that wave, you on that wave, can be on that wave, I can be on that wave, dreams I can be on that wave, dreams I can be on that wave, dreams I can be on that wave, my dreams I can be on that wave, my dreams I can be on that wave, listing my dreams I can be on that wave, listing my dreams I can be on that wave, at least in my dreams I can be on that wave. I can be on that wave. wave,
Sorry.
wave, that wave.
Sorry about that. Let's just go to the next slide. There we go. Welcome to Jamie.
Thank you, Robyn. Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie Lee Davids, and I'm part of Team Chile. As Robyn said, we are the training team of Ways to Change. So at Ways to Change, we practice breathing to calm down. When we calm down, we reduce impact of stress on our brains and our bodies. At Ways to Change, we call this breathing activity the Take 5. You can do this Take 5 anywhere and at any time to help you feel relaxed and resilient. So what I need you guys to do next is to sit comfortably, to close your eyes, to place the palm of your hand on top of your knees, to just sit back and listen to my voice. So I want you guys to take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it for 3 to 4 counts, and out through your mouth. Breathe in slowly through your nose and out through your mouth. As you're breathing in, I want you to focus on what your body is feeling like at this moment. Breathe out. Breathe in and focus on what your body is telling you at this moment. Breathe out. Now, as you're breathing in, I want you to focus on your breathing. Is it shallow? Is it slow? Or is it fast and hollow? Breathe out. As you're breathing in, I want you to focus on breathing slower and out. Take another deep breath in, inhaling every good memory you had today. And as you're breathing out, exhaling all of the negative and bad memories you had today. Continue focusing on your breathing. And continue focusing on those good memories and that positivity. Exhale out all the negativity, all of the bad experiences you had today. Now I'm going to count to 10. As soon as I get to 10, you're going to open your eyes and send me a thumbs up emoji in the chat to show that you're awake and alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you everyone for joining me in that Take 5. I hope you only have positivity throughout the day. Thank you, Robyn.
Thanks so much, Jamie. I'm sure all of you feel a little bit more relaxed and calm, and I'm sure you can imagine children coming down to the beach after a tough day at school, leaving their communities. That really helps to ground them when they come to the beach. Thanks, Jamie. So just to share a little bit more about us and the background of our innovation, through a published PhD utilizing child peer researchers, the Ways for Change innovation has been developed by young people in South Africa for young people in South Africa. The use of participatory processes alongside supervision from mental health experts has led to the development of an innovative intervention that is both evidence-based and child and youth friendly. The innovation targets children aged 9 to 16 years old with little to no other access to mental health services. The work that we do with children growing up in adverse environments with exposure to repeat trauma, such as witnessing shootings, stabbings, drug misuse in the home, and even rape. This exposure often leads to a toxic stress response, which I'm sure you've all experienced in your own work. For children and young people growing up in chronic poverty in South Africa, toxic stress has become a recognized pandemic. As you know, it affects regions of the brain that control how the rest of the body respond to and regulate stress, and puts children and young people at much greater risk of developing mental health disorders such as anxiety, depression, and PTSD. I'm now going to hand over to Annalisa Mchloli, who's a Ways for Change senior coach from Khayelitsha, who will describe our service through the eyes of a coach. And afterwards, we will transport you back to the beach where Jose will run you through another one of activities called the Power Hand.
The infrastructure in my community is very bad. Most people live in shacks. There is poor access to clean running water. Kids are introduced into gangs at a young age of 11. There's a lot of gang violence like shooting, drugs, and there's a lot of violence against women and children. Parents are often unemployed, meaning there's no income in the household, and a lot of children drop out of school. My name is Annalisa Mhloli. I am a 25-year-old. I am a senior Ways for Change coach and a mentor to children in my community where over 1 million people live. My community is very overcrowded. I have grown up surrounded by violence and faced adversity myself. I know the impact that this has on children when they are growing up here. Access to mental health services is very low in Khayelitsha. At Ways for Change, we work with teachers, social workers, and community members to tackle stigma. We talk about the impact of stress and trauma on the way we behave and learn. I am very passionate about changing attitudes in my community, as most people still think mental health is about being cursed or bewitched. There is not even a word for depression in my language. It's a person. This community referral network I helped build then used the indicators we shared to refer children most in need of support. Most referrals come from schools in the most underserved areas. We work with children who have experienced repeated trauma like rape, domestic violence, and drugs like tech being used at home. These children are referred by local hospitals, clinics, and social workers. We pick children up from school or other pickup spots in the community. When they get to the Ways for Change site, they are very excited to be at the beach and see their coaches. Our Ways for Change culture is inspired by Ubuntu: protect, respect, and communicate. We sing and dance a lot, bringing fun and energy to every session. We like to celebrate that side of our culture together. Children from my community are looking for a sense of belonging, a tribe for them to be part of. Activities like surfing are difficult, but allow everyone to take part at their own level. Learning to surf for me was like mastering a new skill that I did not think I was going to be able to do. When I started at Waves for Change, I couldn't even swim, and the ocean really scared me. When I'm in the water or on the board, I tend to focus on the paddling, the staying in the right position on the board, but I fall off all the time. Falling off the board is part of the fun because if you don't fall off, you'll think you're a perfectionist. And I believe there's no such thing as perfection. I see the waves like the challenges in my community. These challenges will either eat you up and spit you out, or you will learn to ride them. At Waves for Change, we just use surfing as the hook to give children a safe space and safe adults. We share activities like Take 5 and the Power Hand. These help them to self-soothe, gain control of strong feelings, and think before they act. They can use these tools at home and at school, but they first practice them at the beach. Surfing helps children to regulate their emotions. It gives them another option from joining a gang and helps them to feel better about themselves. Hardly anyone I know has health insurance. Stigma makes it less likely for families to attend mental appointments at the hospital or clinics. At Waves to Change, as coaches, we have our own debrief psychologist that helps support us in delivering surf therapy and meeting children's needs. Ways for Change coaches represent diversity in their culture, their language, and their gender. We give children access to support that they need in a fun, child-friendly way that's close to their community. I hope more young people like myself can be supported in delivering an essential child-friendly program or mental health support for children across South Africa and beyond.
Oh, I can't take it off this one. There we go. Oops.
Give us a second, guys.
There we go.
Hi, champions. My name is Jose, and I'm also part of the famous team Jelly. I just want to welcome you guys back to the beach, where I will tell you more about the power hand, and I just want you guys to participate, relax, and be positive. So the power hand is a tool that we provide the participants with to help them recognize and acknowledge some of their strengths. These strengths can be kindness, communication, loyalty, and just caring about one another. These strengths are also the things that make us all special, different, and unique. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, why is it called a power hand? It's called a power hand because it goes with you wherever you go. And when you at work and you need to remind yourself about your strengths, I'll show you what to do now. So what I want you to do is I want you to sit in a comfortable position, relax, shake yourself loose if you have to. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to listen to my voice and my voice only. I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. I want you to continue breathing. still listening to my voice and my voice only. I want you to put out one of your hands out in front of you as if you are about to high five a mate or a friend. With your eyes closed, I want you to visualize each of your fingers as mountains. And mountains need to be walked by hikers. On your other hand, I want you to stretch out your index finger because that is you the hiker. And you will be walking up and down on each and every mountain. I want you to put yourself at the bottom of the mountain, your first mountain, which is your thumb. You can call it Table Mountain. I want you to still continue breathing. Feel your body and your mind relax. On the count of 3, we will walk up the first mountain. And as you are walking and sweating, I want you to think of some of the strengths that you have. 1, 2, 3. Walk with me. Breathe in as you are walking up your first mountain. As you reach the top, I want you to squeeze the tip of your thumb and squeeze in a strength that you have. And let's walk down the mountain on the inside of our thumb, breathing out. Let's take another deep breath in as we're walking up the next mountain. Think of another strength that you have. You reach the top and I want you to squeeze the tip of that finger. As you walk down that mountain, I want you to breathe out slowly. Take another deep breath in as you're walking up the next mountain. As you reach the top, I want you to squeeze another strength into that finger. As you're walking down your mountain, I want you to breathe out. Easy. Let's walk up the next mountain, thinking about another strength that we have. As you reach the tip of that mountain, I want you to squeeze another strength in. Let's walk down that mountain, slowly breathing out. Let's walk up our last mountain. Take a deep breath of fresh air in. Think about the strength. We're reaching the tip and squeeze another strength into that mountain. Breathe out as you walk down that mountain. I want you to take 10 seconds now and just reflect on all the strengths that you have left on each and every mountain of the journey that you just took, the journey that you just walked. Take 10 seconds, reflect, and listen to the last few words that I have to share with you about the power hand. I want us to use this power hand in our everyday lives, especially in our workplace. When you are sitting in that office, when you are dealing with a challenging situation, remind yourself of the strengths that you have by just squeezing one of those mountains. And by doing that, your day will be less stressful and it will look brighter. Use this tool and share it with everyone around you. Simunye Sisonke. Thanks for doing the power and activity with me. Thanks, guys. Over to you, Robyn.
Great, thanks, Jose. I'm sure that's something that all of you could use in your day-to-day work. I'm sure quite often you are tempted to remind yourselves of your strength. So please use it and share it. So just to carry on, I'm sure some of you are asking, why surfing? So surfing is a difficult physical individual activity that can be done in a group setting. It demands focus and induces flow states, which in turn allows respite from negative thoughts and emotions. Waves for Change coaches facilitate surfing in an environment that encourages mastery and autonomy and relieves stress. Through a curriculum of simple activities like the power hand that Jose just shared with you, rooted in behavior activation, Waves for Change coaches support children to cope with stress, regulate their behavior, and think before they act. Surf therapy allows children to practice self-regulation and exposes them to measured risks and fears in a planned way at their own pace, whilst having a lot of fun with friends. To talk a little bit about our scaling and task shifting, on this slide, you can see the community of Khayelitsha and the Waves for Change site at Monwabisi Beach. The yellow pins show some of our community referral partners, such as schools, the Khayelitsha Hospital, and other community organizations. As I'm sure you all know, in South Africa, we have a staggering mental health treatment gap of approximately 92%. The vast majority of mental health resources go into hospital settings and hardly any near the places where uninsured populations live and work. Through a task shifting approach, community-based workers, such as Waves for Change coaches, are at the forefront of fighting the mental health pandemic in South Africa. Through our bananas culture that Annalisa described, Waves for Change challenges traditional power dynamics, such as systemic racism and the belief that effective mental health services can only be delivered by highly skilled, expensive mental health professionals. Waves for Change facilitate the shift of skills and power to young people, who are then able to effectively deliver a culturally appropriate, child-friendly service. At Waves for Change, we have 5 sites along the coast of South Africa, run by 40 young people who are 18 to 25 years old, providing mental health support to over 1,600 children annually. When children are referred, they come to the beach once a week for 10 months. And the cost of 10 months of surf therapy is equivalent to approximately 4 private sessions with a psychologist or 2 sessions with a psychiatrist. The surf therapy program gives children sustainable long-term connections and support structures that they can use throughout their adolescence and can continue to access at our Saturday surf clubs, where they remain connected to the safe spaces and safe adults and remain a part of the Waves for Change tribe, maintaining a positive identity and a connection to a healthy gang. Waves for Change combines this with research, and just a summary of some of our research findings. Through research done with children and young people, as well as experts and universities, we have created a strong evidence base for our work. People we have worked with, some of whom many of you will know, are experts such as Crick Lunt, Kirsty Donald, Willem de Jager, John Parker, as well as universities such as UCT, New School University in New York, and the University of Stirling in Scotland. Some of the key findings of our research have included surf therapy, increased participants' ability to self-regulate. It also improved their ability to cope in the face of adversity. It decreased antisocial behavior and helped find volume control on strong feelings. It also improved overall well-being and mental health, such as increased levels of self-esteem, happiness, and improved social connectedness. As you can see on the slide, studies have included a program evaluation using heart rate variability as a marker for self-regulation, resilience, and behavior flexibility, enabling ways for change to measure psychological changes as well as children's self-perceptions. We chose to use HRV as it is a non-invasive and culturally appropriate tool that is a physiological measure that doesn't require samples such as hair, nails, or blood. We also use the DERS scale and the WHO Wellbeing Scale, as well as children, parent, caregiver, and teacher self-reported data. This is an area we're still always developing and trying new ways, as most of these tools were not developed for children in low and middle income countries like South Africa. After this presentation, we'll share a link to our learning brief on HRV, as well as our latest annual report with all of you. And those who are interested to learn more can have a more thorough read through those. Our new website should also be launching next week, we hope, which is a whole new look, and it's very youth-led. The brand was chosen by our coaches, and all of the resources shared today, as well as our other resources, will be found on the new website. In terms of diversity and inclusion, Ways for Change aims to be an inclusive service for neurodiverse children and also provide morning sessions with smaller groups and lower coach-to-child ratio in order for all children to be able to benefit from the service that we offer. I'm going to show a short video about our autism program.
When Logan was fully diagnosed with autism, it was a shock.
When I first found out that Alexander was autistic, it was my first child, and I was still a child myself. It was stressful.
Before the diagnosis, your life was fine. And suddenly you get hit with the same blow. And what is it? What do I have to do as a parent? How can I help my child?
Maybe you were unique when you were 10 years old.
custody in it, my angel. Just like you are. And the reaction from friends and family was in the beginning, shame, but it was short-lived. As soon as they realized the complex nature and what their part there was going to be in this whole thing, they hightailed and they left us to our own devices.
He was already 3 years old when I discovered that he was autistic. I had to teach him everything. I have to think for him. He was not a normal child. I couldn't assume he understood whatever I said. It was a challenge for me because I didn't know how to speak to him. I didn't know what he wanted majority of the time. I had to stop everything. I had to live my life through him. Yeah, it was stressful. It was frustrating not to know how to help a child.
Now, this is the microwave. So now this is the fridge, stove, and this is the breast carton.
Some of the challenges that I face as a teacher who teaches learners with autism is behavioral challenges. They get frustrated so easily, as opposed to learners who are in the mainstream. You feel like you're dealing with 6 learners, whereas you're dealing with 1 learner.
A lot of times we've got a lot of behavioral issues that come through, like Logan, for example. When she started school, she couldn't tolerate sand being underneath her feet. So she couldn't sit at a table in the beginning of her career here at the school. Like, she literally had to jump from table to seat to everywhere because of the feeling of sand underneath her shoe. It used to be a very big thing for her.
Move! We teach our learners vocational skills. So we teach them self-help skills so that when they're adults, they can take care of themselves and function independently.
Children with autism don't necessarily learn the same way that me and you do. They make use of a lot of visual information, and they need lots of visual information to actually make sense of what's happening around them.
The Awareness for Change program has helped me because it now supports what I'm doing in class. So when I'm teaching my learners about how to communicate about their feelings, it also does that.
Children need a place to belong, firstly, and secondly, like that sense of community and sense of being part of a surfing culture, especially in communities where it's such a big thing that they don't get exposure to a lot of things. Being part of something such as Waves for Change, where there's no demands on what intellectual capabilities you as a person have, is fantastic because it puts everybody on the same level as well.
I remember when I heard it first about the Waves for Change, I was like, what waves? I said, at the sea. What sea? Because I can't swim. Because now I'm thinking my child is going to be there surfing. That's dangerous.
It's water, it's waves, there's sharks, there's fish. This child is scared of all sorts of animals. But when I saw it in action, and I saw exactly how they work with the children, phenomenal.
One of the things that learners with autism struggles to do is socializing and making friends. Now, the Awareness for Change has made them feel included. They feel now that they are part of the group because they work as a group collectively. Also, here in class, they are now more social with other learners, so they make friends easily because they know they are taught that at the Awareness for Change.
He wanted to go out more. Usually he wants to stay in the house. He doesn't want to play outside. But now he wanted to go and tell everyone, I'm going to the beach. And at school, they gave me a board. For him, it was good because he could socialize better now.
She's actually talking about her career goals and stuff already, where she wants to see herself in a few years' time. You could not even imagine Logan would actually get to that point where she's thinking of long-term goals as opposed to just what am I having for dinner.
Waves for Change believe that all children deserve a safe space. In the communities that we work with, children who are different are often invisible, ignored, and hidden away. Children with autism and their families have very limited access to services or support and are often judged and made to feel like they don't belong. At Ways for Change, children experience acceptance and inclusion. They learn to feel part of a community and connected to the world outside of home and school.
When he got home with a certificate, I was even more proud of him. He was excited, showing me, Mom, look, I graduated. I can serve.
They know how to deal with these children. There's like a high five here. It's what you doing there? And it's like heaven on earth.
We provide a safe space, caring adults, a new and challenging task, and skills to cope, as well as manage their behavior and emotions. This helps reduce isolation and allows children to be celebrated for who they are.
It's amazing to see what the program has done for so many of these kids, because they struggle on a regular basis to kind of deal with all the sensory inputs in a classroom or anywhere. But the moment that they go to Ways for Change, it's like all of that just goes away, and they're interacting with the coaches and they're actually enjoying the water and they're part of a group.
Ways for Change hope that more and more services make themselves available to children on the autism spectrum. Sometimes it is the people no one can imagine anything of who do the things no one can imagine.
Sorry about the few technical hassles. I'm now going to hand over to Aviwe Funani, our Program Policy and Advocacy Manager, to talk about our advocacy work at Ways for Change.
Thanks, Robyn. Hi, everybody. As Robyn said, I am Aviwe Funani, and I'll share with you a bit about our advocacy work. So at Ways for Change, we aim to have an impact on the children we work with directly, but we also hope to influence the discussions on social prescription and community-led well-being services across South Africa. Our advocacy work aims to promote the use of community-led group-based physical activity services as viable health interventions to promote mental health and well-being. As we aim to meet the targets set out in the World Health Organization's Comprehensive Mental Health Action Plan, our service delivery, as well as the training and support we offer to other physical activity organizations, can help to increase the number of evidence-based, community-based mental health services by 2030. We are passionate about creating preventative services that are child and youth friendly, with a focus on ensuring we reach marginalized groups such as the LGBTQI community, refugees, children in conflict with the law, and those often excluded from current service provision. Our approach also unlocks the potential of previously unemployed youth as coaches and mentors within their communities. The Global Mental Health Action Plan suggests implementing universal school-based social emotional learning programs and other interventions to support adolescents in their problem-solving and coping skills. We feel we now have a blueprint for this in South Africa in our surf therapy pathway, and we have successfully applied it to other physical activity settings like skateboarding, cycling, and yoga. We would love partners like Red Cross to refer more children and young people into our service and to work with you as we grow access to physical activity-based well-being services for marginalized communities, advocating for more recognition and investment in social prescription services across the country. When we last addressed you here in 2018, myself and Robyn, we had only just started taking in healthcare referrals, but I am pleased to be able to share that we are now properly set up for accommodating up to 7 healthcare referrals on 2 different afternoons per week at each of our Ways for Change sites. We also have a small budget to assist with transport for the referrals when it is required. So we will share the referral process and contact details with Rihanna alongside with the other resources Robyn has already mentioned. And we look forward to hearing from you with referrals who you think could benefit from this outpatient step-down service that we offer at Ways for Change. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Aviwe. We do want to leave a couple of minutes for questions and answers, but just to end off, We at Waves for Change have worked to identify which of the active ingredients of our service make it successful and which can be shared and scaled. We now support other organizations that want to launch or strengthen physical activity-based programs to promote the well-being of children and young people in South Africa and beyond. We currently open source our resources and hope to grow this part of our work to address mental health treatment gaps for children and young people globally. On behalf of all of us here today and all of us at Waves for Change, thank you so much to Red Cross for always engaging with us and for the support and relationship that we've developed over the years. I hope that you've all enjoyed today's presentation and particularly the tools that we've offered you. And I just want to invite you as an audience now to ask questions to anyone in the team, not just me. Jose is with us, Aviwa is with us, Jamie's with us, Kelly's with us, and Paula. So please fire away, and hopefully we can answer any questions that you have today.
Robyn, thank you so much. What a lovely presentation, and I mean, hopeful and inspiring. And I love that the whole team was involved. I think your thoughts around inclusivity, it shines through in this presentation. So thank you. I'm just going to stop the recording.